Now live on Facebook, everyone. Well, I'm going to be talking with Raz first because he doesn't have a lot of time. But first, I'm going to get all hooked up. Recording this computer. Aloha and welcome to Wisdom Dialogues with Hope Johnson, coming to you from Hawaiian beaches on the Big Island of Hawaii. Yay, I'm so stoked to be with you today, as always. And number one guest, yes, you may join on video, my love. Let me just promote you to panelists. Number one guest is Raz. Let's see where he is.
Hello.
Yay.
Good
there
morning.
You are. How beautiful.
You said just now that you would forget about it for today on Facebook. What was that referring to?
Facebook? Oh, I just went live on Facebook with this.
Oh, okay. It's in your group, though, not your personal page, right?
This is on my personal page.
Oh, it's on your personal page?
Yeah, it's so easy.
Okay, cool. Oh, I can see it now.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna share it as a watch party on my page right now.
Thank you.
And I don't know if you saw my question that I just sent through using the Zoom platform in the last minute. Did you see it?
Oh, no, I don't see it. Lori's saying
okay, maybe
shaking her head.
Maybe no. It didn't send. Maybe I could just say it instead of writing it, or I can write it, whatever you prefer.
Why don't you go ahead and say it, Raph?
Okay, it was how can we support Hope Johnson today?
You are right now.
I know. It's already done. Right.
This is it. This is it. With an openness and a sincerity. This is it. This is supportive. This is beautiful. Thank you.
Okay. I would like to support Hope Johnson by meeting. It's really my own selfish intent that I disguise as pretending to be helping Hope Johnson, but by inviting Hope Johnson to come visit in Bali and taking care of all of your needs on the whole journey.
Okay, wonderful. I accept.
Cool. Let's talk more about it after this.
Is that easy?
Or now if you want.
Well, how about after Wisdom Dialogues, we'll take care of logistics.
Sure. And also, I think it's a great teaching on the embodiment of Wisdom Dialogues. So either way, I'm good.
Okay. Fabulous.
Lots of love to you. Look how beautiful Bali is. This is what you're missing out on. Private pools, beautiful trees. Don't get me started. Okay, right. I'll stop hijacking your live stream for my selfish egoic motivations now.
You're so awesome. I love you.
I love you.
We'll talk soon. Aloha.
No, that's not the end. I have other questions.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. I don't know what they are yet, but I didn't want to go yet. Oh, wait, yeah. Can you be my surrogate mother?
I don't know what that means.
It basically means that I want to heal all of my relationship issues with my mom, and I feel like you embody like the awakened divine feminine, like full power mother that I wish to see in the world. And there's so many women out there who don't have a clue where to start. And I grew up with a mother who was like that, and I'm still kind of working with the trauma that's kind of in me from that. And so it was my kind of playful way of.
It's so cute.
Sorry?
You're so serious about it. It's so sweet.
It's serious, okay?
So I can be whatever you make me out to be. That's how it is.
Okay. Well.
Yeah. Whatever you make me out to be.
I want you to be my mother's therapist. That's what I want you to be.
Okay, fine.
So I'll fly you to Bali next week, and you get to be my mother's therapist.
Next week? Well, we'll have to see about the date.
Okay, cool. We can work on that. Date, location, open to interpretation. Live streams using the internet makes time and space collapse into the duality, non-duality of this isn't, stays now. So thank you for your time. I love you. And I'll be with Tiger in Portugal next month.
Fabulous. Enjoy Tiger.
Or he'll be with me in London, maybe in England. So.
Okay. I'm stoked for you.
Hey, Laurie.
Hey, Raz.
How you doing?
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. Aloha, Raz.
Thank you. Aloha. I'll be quiet now. If I can see. Yeah, mahalo, all that crap. Yeah. Bye.
How's Lori doing today?
Well, I've noticed a pattern with what I'm calling deep rest.
Mm-hmm.
Wake up in the morning, all kinds of fear, projected in the future. I mean, gut wrenching. In the solar plexus, exactly what you said.
How funny.
Yeah. I mean, can't even think about food until the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Just, my intake of food has gone it's like a quarter of what it used to be. And I don't know why, as the day goes on, maybe it's because I'm busy, that the thoughts aren't so gripping.
Well, sure, you get distracted.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. When there's a distraction, then you don't have all of that kind of pain. That's why people like to make the distractions for themselves. Like they like to get really busy, have stuff to do all day long so that they don't have to touch in with that. So then once all of that settles down, then you've got that pain to deal with.
Exactly. And it's pretty intense.
Mm-hmm.
Very intense. And like you said about the finding compassion for others, I'm seeing how much judgment there was for others and when they were in such a state.
Yes, absolutely.
And how come they can't get out of it? And they should know it's just a thought.
Yeah, that's the ego setting you up.
Yes. I see clearly.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So,
but here's the thing. Nothing happened. So it's like that's also right now coming up as a hook that you don't have to accept. You don't have to accept that like with the like that. It's just like, oh, it's kind of funny. You're watching this image of yourself because what you're watching is a projected mind. This Lori character is a projection. See? So what you're watching her go through this stuff, it's like once you're aware that you're the one watching, you're not in it. You never really were in it, but you trick yourself into being in it. See? Right. So Lori can run around and have her thing with all the fear and have all the feelings and stuff like that. But you are kind of like behind that. And while you're watching from that place, this thing about Lori running around, thinking it's the fear is real and everything like that, it's not going to have any effects because of you, because of where your position is. It never really has any effect anyways, but in the illusion, it appears to have effect when you take it as real. Right. When you're identified with that projected mind, that one that's feeling fearful, you're not that one that's feeling fearful. You're the one aware of that. And when you're basically aware of yourself, you're not like aware of yourself as this limitation inside the manifestation, but you're aware of yourself as awareness, and the manifestation can do what it does, and then it's going to have no effects. See?
I do see exactly what you're saying. This is exactly everything that I was saying. I'm the one back here watching all of this. In my videos, that's what I said, but something switched. I don't know.
When you can't get there, you can't get back there. It's okay. It's okay. You know, that's the point. That's the point where, you know, you realize this is a benefit. This is a benefit, even though I feel like it's not a benefit. The blessing of it is coming, and you can always ask for help. You know, some people, like my Course in Miracles people, they ask the Holy Spirit for help. Doesn't really matter which kind of name you use for it or anything like that. It's just that you're asking for help outside of your limited mind. This is a projection of limited mind. Now you think you're in it. So you're asking for help, whatever the higher power is that appeals to you.
The Holy Spirit sounds beautiful.
Okay, so Holy Spirit it is. And you know, it's like you're asking for help from that place, and that's what the real asking that's really going to serve you. That's going to serve you way more than asking or pining for whatever it is you think is going to take the fear away in the world.
I
know you know that. Yeah, I know you know that. So, you know, you have the choice between two things. You can ask for the kind of help where the illusion gets changed so that you can feel better. Like, for instance, if it's about money, then you want more money. You can ask for that kind of help, and that's definitely going to bring you more pain and suffering and things like that. Or you can ask for that help from the Holy Spirit in seeing who you are, you know, and that's what takes you back. But, you know, don't put any time limit on it. You know that the Holy Spirit is using time exactly as it needs to be used. There's no time. Time is an illusion. It's being used for undoing your mind. So don't put any time limit on that. Just let it unfold. Stay in the asking. Stay in the question. See, don't give it your judgment. Don't come up with your own answer for it. Just stay in the asking. Stay in the question until you're clear, until you are sharing the perception of the Holy Spirit. When you're sharing the perception of the Holy Spirit, you don't have any questions. You don't have to ask for anything. See?
Stay in the question of help. Show me.
Show me is good. Yes, show me is good. Remember, it's an energy and it's not in the words. Staying in the question is meaning that I'm not coming to my conclusion about this. I'm not leaning to my understanding as this limited mind that I'm taking myself to be right now, obviously because I feel upset or fearful or something.
Obviously, I'm believing the thoughts because they are very painful.
And that's how you know. Yeah, that's how you know. So
not true.
Right. And, you know, you have been paying a lot of attention to the reality lately.
Yeah.
You know, you have been paying a lot of attention to the reality. So, you know, this is kind of like, I've heard people call something like this the dark night of the soul too. You know, where you're paying a lot of attention to reality, and there comes the ego in a big way, in a really big way. Okay, it's like, look, you know, you have to follow me. You need to follow me now, otherwise you're going to get in a lot of trouble here, Lori.
Yes, that's it. Something bad's going to happen if you don't.
Right, something's really. That's right, and you know that's the MO of the ego. That's how the ego works. That's the MO.
Okay. I know all of this, but it's so beautiful to hear it coming out of your mouth.
I know. That's why you have me say it.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
You're awesome. You're stoked. So it's all just feelings. It's all just feelings passing, and you know, you see your mind wavering and stuff like that. But you know, this too shall pass.
That's another thing I've been saying. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. Because it's not where normally I am. Normally, I've always been a very happy person most of the time. And that's just, I mean, yeah. When in the illusion,
yes.
Lori has been happy. for most of her life.
Sure. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. But
yeah, and then you're looking at the truth, and you're looking at different ways where fear is coming up. You're looking at the different ways where fear is coming up, and the ego's getting undone, and then the ego comes up really big. Now this could be a major awakening, major transformation for you. It's a huge opportunity. It's just a matter of moment to moment, surrender. You can say surrendering it, and then when surrendering it, it's that upset feeling. It's that upset feeling. That upset feeling is demonstrating to you that you found yourself guilty, and you believe that you are just terrible and deserving of death. And that's what this feeling is demonstrating that. So, when you recognize that's what the feeling is trying to demonstrate, it really lightens it up, really. I mean, unless you're identified with, oh, this is terrible or something like that. It's not terrible. It's awesome, because when you're seeing it, it's getting undone. It's just like there wasn't laughter about something like that. There wasn't laughter about something like that. Oh, yeah, you messed up now. And that's what all of this is, it's all, you really messed up now. It's just an extrapolation of that. You'll see that in your
exactly what it is.
Yeah. You'll see that in your projections. Will be like, oh, you really messed up now, and you'll see like other people even reflecting that back to you, and you'll see that arising in your mind. Once you're looking, you'll start to see that. And whenever that arises, it's like, take a step back, because that's only showing up as a temptation, let's say, for you to follow it, for you to make it meaningful, for you to maybe argue with it or agree with it, whatever, just in making it meaningful. It's like, it's not light to you, so letting it be light. Oh, Laura, you really, you're in for it now. You're really in for it now. There's no future, though. You need a future. You need a past, too, to have made a mistake. And then you need a future in order to project that mistake into the future. All you have is this instant, and in this instant, you can receive all the power and the glory and the benefit of who you are.
God, that feels so good. Oh.
See, here's another thing that's coming up to be shared with you too. It's like the awareness of this being all an unreality. It comes through your willingness to rest the body. Rest the body. Watch what happens. Watch what happens when you're thinking. The body tenses up. The body tenses up. There's not a willingness to just completely rest the body. For a lot of people, you'll really have to look at the sensations in the body. You really have to look if you haven't tuned into this before. But the thought is gripping the body at the body sense. See?
Definitely. And it's so much so. I noticed my inner thighs just and pulling in all on their own. I mean, all on their own when I'm in the grips of it in the morning.
Good.
It's just it starts in the solar plexus, and then it goes right to the legs, and they try to pull in on their own and shaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a total. So it's like this unwillingness to just rest the body, and right. I mean, like deep rest. Deep. Watch what happens when you lay down. You lay down and watch where the tension is. Watch where the tension is. Watch where you're holding tension. And just in putting your attention there, you'll see it start to release. And then you'll see yourself get distracted by a thought that'll tighten it back up again. Just watch that. It's like, it's really fun. It's like there's this unwillingness to just rest the body. It's like, it's not like it needs to have any tension. It doesn't need to have any tension. All of the tension in the body comes from the mind. The body is completely innocent. It doesn't need to carry tension.
Right.
It's like it comes down to this unwillingness. It's almost like you have to guard this body.
Right. It's like protection. Like
yeah, it's like protection for the body. It's like an unwillingness to let it just float in space, which is what it's kind of doing anyway. Yeah. And letting it float in space. Nothing's happening.
I'm actually looking forward to tomorrow morning. to just release, let go when that comes in?
Anytime. Even as you're sitting here, even as we're on Wisdom Dialogues, you could put the focus of your attention anywhere. I mean, anywhere. I started with my toes. I've shared that with you before. I started with my toes because I noticed my toes were tense. You can put it, you talking about the solar plexus. Okay, great. You're getting in touch with that area. Put your attention to your solar plexus. Watch it. Watch what occurs. It's symbolic. There's no body. The body isn't real. There's nothing that you have to heal in it or anything like that. There's no healing for the body. The body cannot get sick. Okay. And the body doesn't harbor any past pain or anything like that. Okay. It's just a projection. It's just a projection. It's the past playing out, projecting into the future. And if you just let it rest, it's almost like it delivers the body to now and lets it get healed. It gets a healing because it's projected. It's projected from the mind. Don't let your goal be getting the body a healing, but when you're willing to rest the body, when you're willing to rest the body, that's the same as resting the mind. You have to have a thought process and be gripped by the thought process to be gripping in the body.
Right. I totally see that.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then also all the gripping is a benefit because the more you're sensing the gripping, remember nothing's happening again. The more you're sensing the gripping, the bigger the opening when it's relaxed.
Okay.
See? Watch how as you're, maybe it'll happen for you the first time. It could. It'll happen for you the first time. How much relief is available? You'll be like, oh, no wonder I made that tension for myself, just so I can get that relief. This is awesome. That's what I notice about massage too. Like when I'm getting a massage, it's like, oh, no wonder, because this is so good. It's so enlightening to get the release. Get that release, and it's all building tension and releasing. That's it.
Okay.
Releasing.
Building tension and releasing.
Mm-hmm. Just let that release. Be willing to rest the body. That's all.
Okay.
Yay!
You
got this, and you're stoked.
Oh, very.
Okay. Yay. Okay, Bob Shine. Coming on camera, Bob? I'm just going to put you on because I think you do. Don't hide yourself now. You don't want to hide yourself. Aloha, everyone. Oh, thank you so much for joining. Oh, I see you all. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Oh, Bob Shine. Are you muting yourself or am I muting you? I thought you wouldn't be mute, but let me see. There we go. You should be permitted to talk now.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes, I can.
Wonderful. Yes, fantastic. Thank you for getting me on here now.
Excited to have you on. Thank you. So you wrote a whole bunch of stuff, and it's so much stuff, and I read it over a couple of times, and I just do not feel led to read the whole thing. I was wondering if you would be able to give me some kind of a summary, like what is it that you want to know? I think it's all pointing to one thing, one question that you have. What is the actual question?
Well, yeah, so let's see, let me go to that question. So that was, so what I wrote, like in the book Disappearance of the Universe, is this erroneous mortal universe meant to be totally transcended and discarded because it cannot have been God created? Or are we meant to evolve as the gods of this universe and manifest the wisdom and love of God here and heal and resurrect and complete this earthly existence into the kingdom of heaven? So that's kind of, then these other quotes were just kind of illustrating that idea.
Yeah. So what do you think it is?
What do I think it is?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm thinking that this is just kind of like the twilight before the dawn, the dream before the awakening. The idea that this isn't a God-created universe, because I shared those quotes about how, in one sense, God doesn't exist here. That for God to exist here, there needs to be someone who is God realized. God is where God is realized. So you need a Jesus Christ, you need a Gautama Buddha, you need a Mary Baker Eddy, you need a human being, a person alive in this.
Well, what about you? What about you?
Right. So that's just it. This is the idea, is that we as human beings are in a state of gestation. That when we're in the womb of our mother, we're born into this world, but here in this world, we're like in the womb of Mother Earth. We're feeding on the earth. But then this human reality is another womb, is like a place where we gestate into, then are reborn into a God-realized identity, that we're not a human being.
Well, here's the thing, though. This is where it starts to get like really convoluted and intellectual. Okay, nothing's happening. Okay, so it's like, you know, a lot of this intellectualizing stuff is just so that you don't see right now. You know, it's like trying to get it exactly perfect. It's like trying to get that there. It's not really that. It's not really important. It's not really important how it, whatever, if it serves right now, it doesn't matter what the belief is. It does not matter what the belief is. If it serves right now, you in seeing through that guilty self-concept, if it serves you in willingness to offer up that hurt, wounded, upset feeling, then it's a benefit. That's it. If you're using it for something, it's all whatever you're using it for. It comes down to whatever you're using it for. It's not like there's one right or wrong way to go. It's like, what are you using it for? Are you using it to make this illusion real, or what? You know, it's like you certainly don't need anything outside of yourself, because you are it. You know, you say God doesn't exist in this world, but look, you are the one aware of it, right? You are the one aware.
Yeah.
And you remember the chart that I did, right? Remember that chart where you're everything. You're everything gold.
The graph with the circle and everything.
Yes, you're everything gold like that. And you know, there's a piece of you, let's say, in the manifest world. Okay. You can say that's God, because it's not disconnected from it. It's not disconnected from God at all. So it's like you in that within that manifest world, because of who you are, because of the awareness who you are, it's like that separate mind, that seemingly separate mind, has a spark of who you are in it. That's always longing for you. Just let that. It's like a spark of reality. It's like a spark of reality within the unreal world. It's always longing for you. It's always longing for who you are. Let that just let that just guide you gently. It's like, you know, for me, it's almost like a lover. It's almost romantic. I feel like the romantic love and the sex and all of that stuff, I feel like it's symbolic of this relationship between love and love. It's like calling. It sounds like calling you and guiding you and leading you back, you know, as this separate limitation self, that's apparently, apparently separate in the world, still has a spark of who you are in it, and it's always being called back to who you are. Let that feeling, what I'm sharing with you, I'm sharing with you a feeling. Let that feeling guide you. Let that feeling lead you back. Feel called by that lover. Feel called by that sweet, compassionate, that being held, all of your apparent loneliness, anything like that. That's all just from turning your back on that love. It's like from turning your back on that love. It's like, no, I want to look for it over here. I don't want it where it is. I want to look for it over here in the world. I want to find out what's the right way to be and all this other stuff. It's like right now you could just fall into that ocean of love. Just let yourself fall into it.
Oh, just lay back and float in the ocean of love. Yes.
That's it.
Thank
That's
you.
It. Yes, and it's your mind. It's your mind that's laying back like that. It's a mental thing. It's just being allowed to be absorbed into this compassion. And it doesn't matter what all these concepts are. It doesn't really matter. You'll see more and more. When I'm talking with you, I often say nothing I say is true. You'll start to see more and more how it's all in energy. It's all energetic. It's all a feeling. Okay. And the words are really meaningful. So now let's go to some of the meat of what you're talking about too. So the world that you see, the world that you see made manifest. Look at the world that's made manifest. Everything in it decays. Everything in it dies. Yes? Okay.
Yes.
So there's no way that can be reality. And if you call it reality, it makes you unreal. Because why? Because you're a creator. You're a creator. You have been given the power of creating. And if you create like that, you're not real. Only love is real. That's not loving. Death isn't a loving thing. See?
Yeah, but we have a world of apparent people, animals, living, sensitive organisms that are in this state of mortality, of birth, decay, and death.
And they're never
the idea is to, what's that?
And they're never touched by it.
We're never touched by that?
No one's ever touched by that.
So that's just it. It's to recognize that, as you say, that spark of divinity, that spark of immortality, that is the true character, the true being of all that we perceive in this earthly realm. And so then this is the idea is that through love, through this recognition, then we elevate all of the life that we perceive into the spiritual identity. We see the spiritual identity in ourselves, and then we see it reflected in everyone and everything around us with that Christ love that recognizes the true Christ identity. And so then that is what will transform the mortal illusion into the reality of heaven.
Yeah, well, here's another way to say it. It's like the illusion won't really get transformed. Your perception will be healed, because all that it is seeing in separation. It's a misperception. It's not seeing clearly. I often say we don't see each other clearly. See, if we're perceiving bodies, we're not seeing each other as we are. We are not seeing each other as we are. We're seeing a projection. So it's like our function in that is to look through the projection, look past it, you can say. Not physically, not with physical sight, although it will become your only sight. It'll become your only sight, but be patient with it. It's just like in looking past whatever you perceive of a person, like if they seem to be angry with you, or they seem to be condemning you, or they seem to be telling you that you're doing it wrong, or they seem to be doing it wrong, or something like that. Just looking past it as in, I'm making this up. I'm making this up right now. That's how this world gets undone. That's how this world of illusion basically just, it doesn't really do anything because it's not really here. We're only just seeing something that's not here. We're just seeing something that's not really there.
Yeah, so then that's just it. It's kind of seeing with the spiritual vision that sees perfection where imperfection appears to be, sees immortality where mortality seems to be, to see spirit where matter seems to be.
And how does that come about though? See, that's the important thing. How does that come about? How does that play out? How do you get to see like that? Do you know?
Well, that's how I see myself, as you say, that spark of divinity within myself that is the true source of my being. As you say, it's kind of like a love affair that I'm longing for it and it's longing for me, and let's get together and come together and unite and become as one. And then if I do that within myself, for myself, as myself, then that's reflected in the world that I perceive.
Okay, and then what about when something comes up and it seems like it's very fearful? Then what?
Well, then I get in touch with the fear that whatever it was externally that triggered the fear was the gift, the benefit to help me get in touch with whatever sense of separation still remains within me that would make me think that I'm a separate being that can be harmed by some separate outside threat.
Huh.
So then I get in touch with the feeling of fear and I embrace that and love it and allow it and welcome it and thank it and bless it and see what happens after that.
Yeah, that's how you let yourself be taken. That's how you let yourself be taken by spirit. It's like you're offering yourself up like that. You know, when that one of those upset feelings comes up and you don't want to lean into your own understanding and try to take care of it yourself, but you're offering it up.
That's right. I just take no thought and let God take care of it.
Yes, and in practicing that over and over and over again, the reason it's over and over and over again is because there's been this buildup. There's been this buildup of these thoughts, and it's like kind of like it's been habitual to make yourself into something that's wrong. It's always like there's something wrong whenever there's any kind of an upset feeling. So when you're willing to just get that feeling effect and offer all of it up, and admit that you don't know what's going on. You do not know what's going on when there's any kind of upset feeling. You don't know. And then letting it all just be taken care of by the spirit. Let it all those feelings that's where the importance is right there. It's a feeling effect. It's a feeling effect of a guilty concept. That's where it is. Being willing to offer that up and not try to make something out of it for yourself. That's going to bring you back to, you could say, center very quickly. Back to clarity very quickly. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so then I had shared this other thing. You had talked about, you had a post about you cannot perceive yourself or anyone else as anxious, confused, angry, panicked, suspicious, or sick unless you are making yourself guilty. So then I write, I find either people guilty me for what I'm innocent of, or me mistakenly believing I've done something I'm guilty for that isn't true. No one thought I did anything wrong. So I see that guilt's a contrivance that is totally made up, make believe, an invalid assumption, misconception through misperception. All of these negatives, sin, disease, lack, limitation, fear, worry, shame, blame, death, have no real meat or substance. They seem to be concocted by the so-called separate ego selfhood that lives in self-isolation with its self-important, self-preoccupied thought dialogue. The separate self looks out at the alleged world it's separated from and buys into these false premises by allowing oneself to be indoctrinated into the consensus trance, groupthink, herd mentality that appears to have value and substance due to the large numbers of programmed upholders. Separation breeds illusion, illusion breeds separation, which then breeds guilt. So yeah, so this is this guilt complex that I've been, you know, victimized by in my life is what I'm really wanting to look at.
It's only coming up in the moment, though. It's not really something that you have to look at like that. See, it's only whatever is arising in the moment. It's not really complicated like that. There's just a feeling. There's an upset. There's just an upset feeling. There's an upset feeling, and when you see what's making the upset feeling right now, you see what's making the upset feeling. It has no justification. That's the healing. See, it's like when there's this complex that's made up, then it makes it so that right now you can't see. That's like the blinder. It's like putting up right now. Like, this is what always happens. Remember, there's no past. So it's just like right now. And it's like a lot of this is a refusal to see. A lot of this is just being used as a refusal to see right now.
Yeah, well, there's that word I use, complex, that I make it to, it's complicated. It's too, you know, spinning in my head about it instead of, as you say, there's really no one or anything right at the moment making me guilty or whatever. So it's just an idea that I have in my head about it, I guess. Huh?
Well, yeah, your head's in your mind too, but you know, it's only just right in this instant that you're not willing in this instant to give it up. That's all. That's why you're making up the complex thing. It's fun to see that. I mean, you could just like look at that, like oh, I see that. You know, you could just watch it. Oh, that's what I'm using to not give it up. Now I made it into a complex.
I made it into a complex so that I couldn't give up my guilt. I made it into a guilt
project. Now you got a big project.
Now I got a big project to undo my complex.
Right. See how that is? It's not like just right now, you know, seeing that oh, I made up a complex. That's fun. Yeah, I just made up a complex so that I can avoid giving it up right now. And get into something real right now. And keep it, and basically keep this sense of separate self and keep this separate world up, blocking my perception of reality, basically. It's like, I want to keep this up. I want to keep this up longer. Who would I be without this guilty complex that I made myself out to have?
Yeah, well, that's just it. The mind just takes you, you know, into these. It's like who by taking thought can add to his stature 1 cubit. You know, it's take no thought for your life. It's all this thinking that gets me into the complicated complex.
Yeah.
and not just being present and giving my love and attention to whatever is in my field of awareness.
Oh, wow. Is that you, Bob? You got some rooster going off?
Yeah.
Nice. It has to be. I know it's got to be close to me. What's that?
Yeah. You've got your roosters there, right?
Oh yeah, we've got them too. But I know it's coming from the computer and not from close by.
Right. Yeah, it's close by me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yes, I'm so excited about your trip that we've had you at Wisdom Dialogues at Michelle, and now we get to share you with the world. The world has to experience you in all these wonderful places: California, Sedona, Nevada.
Yeah.
And your wisdom and love is going to spread. I just can't wait to hear all about the ripples of love and power that you're going to be manifesting on your journey.
And hey, who knows how it will arise. I could just find myself right back here and say, nope, I'm not going anywhere again.
Oh,
it's not like
yeah.
it's not like the world needs me, I'm not buying into anything like that. Who knows? I mean, this is just a fun thing, and maybe it'll Raz just asked me to come to Bali, so who knows? Bali, whatever that place is called. So who knows? It's definitely not going to be next week because I'll be on the mainland, and who knows if I will be inclined to leave after I come back.
Well, you're going to want to stay home for a while.
Who knows? Who knows? I just listen to whatever it is, whatever the guidance is. Just listen to whatever the guidance is. It could go any way. I know I'm not important at all. So I know that no one needs me, and there's no need for me to continue doing this for any certain length of time or anything like that. It's all projected, and everything is awesome.
You said it. Everything is awesome in Wisdom Dialogues with Hope Johnson.
Everything is awesome. All right, that's the end. Goodbye.
That's right. Now we can just remain in awesomeness.
We got more fun stuff. Okay. Stuff. Oh yeah, you're meeting in Sedona. How fun. Yay. Have I ever been in New York City? I was born in New York, upstate New York, and I was in New York City when I was like 2 years old or something like that. That's it for NYC. All right, Bob. I love you. Enjoy those roosters and raise your hand if you want. Aloha.
Okay, thank you. I love you.
I love you. Thanks, Bob. Appreciate you. Okay, so I have a fun question right here. This is a good one. It's a good one because of how funny it is. So it makes it good. Okay. There were a few moments that I experienced perceptions of men not being all the same, quote, all the same. I felt like I was beginning to trust that there could be such a thing as a conscious relationship, and that there are men that love to be monogamous and show that through their energy. Yet I got in a relationship, and of course, I began to experience the same perceptions of jealousy and insecurity. It seems very difficult for me to trust what my partner is telling me, especially when he is clarifying my misperceptions of him looking at other women. He is always reassuring me and explaining that what I perceive is different from what he perceives. I find myself feeling crazy/paranoid. Yeah, I could see that. And wanting to escape my mind and just trust. Okay, so let's just stop right there. This is really long, and there's quite some to get to here. So, the trust is misplaced. The trust is misplaced. There's attachment going on here. There's attachment to a person. For one thing, there's no guys. Okay, there's no guys in the world. It's not like that. There's no guys not in the world. No. Okay, they're all of the guys that you perceive, all of the people, guys, whatever that you perceive, they're born out of your body's energy field, you can say. They're projected. They're projected. Okay, so if you're attached to a certain kind of perception, if you're attached to your guy, the guy that you're with, being a certain way, if you're attached, then you're going to be projecting the opposite. That's how that works. I want a faithful man. I want a monogamous man. And you're going to be seeing everything that's not. You're going to be seeing everything that's not, because you're taking that to be a reality. See? I'll give you a little bit of a scenario, like from how this kind of thing played out in my mind. I was really young. I would perceive all these rock and roll dudes just like all into all these different girls and stuff, and I felt this really upset feeling about that. I was like, oh, are any of them faithful? Are any of them monogamous? You know, are any of them? And with that upset feeling, there was just guidance right there. That doesn't need to matter for you, Hope, whether they are or not. It just really doesn't need to matter for you. It's not something that touches you. It's not something that affects you, whether they are or not. So there was a real detachment from that right there. There's a real detachment from that. It's like whatever it is that is shown to me, whatever it is, whether it's a guy who likes a bunch of chicks or whatever, it's shown to me, it's for the same thing. It's for undoing the sense of separation. It's not for making it more real. It's not for putting my trust. Okay, oh, I can trust you. Oh, thank goodness I can trust you. You know, that's why I'm marrying you. It's because I can trust you. You know, and my husband asked me, am I nervous about marrying him? And I said, no, there's always divorce. Not a problem. It's not like we're in some third world country, but you know, even if you are, it doesn't matter because you're not anywhere really. There's no, there's nothing on you that says you need people to be a certain way. And see, what's causing the manifestation to represent itself is that it gets a rise out of you. You know, there's somewhere further on in here where you talk about how you sit around and you're actually people watching and you're looking at guys with girls, watching a sexy girl walk by and watching them look. You know, basically you're getting what you want to see. That's what you want to see because that's what makes you feel separate. That's the whole thing. It's like you want to get attached to something. It's like saying, I want to feel separate. Show me that I'm separate. See? You're making it into a thing that you need a guy, number one, you need a guy at all, that there are guys in the first place, and that you need them to show up a certain way. You do not need them to show up a certain way. You do not need them at all. You do not need anyone or anything. And that's what this is showing to you, really. That's what this is showing to you. It's not showing something to you so that you can try to manipulate your mind so you can get the perfect relationship that you think you want. Look, no relationship is ever going to bring you contentment. No relationship. Okay? Not any physical relationship like that. It has to be that one relationship, when that one relationship with spirit that we talked about. It's beyond romantic. It's beyond that. But it covers all relationships with all people. It covers all of them as one relationship. That's what's satisfying. That's what gives you the contentment. You don't get any contentment out of separate relationships, ever. Now, maybe you will temporarily, but just wait a minute. They'll turn. Okay, can you give me an example of denying the evidence for a situation like this? It does not matter what the situation is because, you know, this is a misunderstanding of denying the evidence. This is how it's being looked at here. When I'm talking about denying the evidence, I'm saying deny the evidence that this world has any kind of authority over you. Deny that anything in this world made you feel the way you're feeling. Deny that evidence, okay? If your partner appears to be sleeping with other people and you are aware of this and you can see the physical evidence, are you supposed to just act like, see, this is taking it very materialistic. You're not supposed to act like anything. You're not the one acting. Look. That's the physical manifestation of it. Whatever it is that's arising, whatever you seem to be doing, whatever the other person seems to be doing, watch your mind. Watch your mind. All of the good guidance is coming to you. You know, you don't deny that you don't deny that you're having this perception. Your perception is your perception. Your perception is your perception. You know, no need to argue with that. No need to deny it. but you deny the evidence in the perception that says that this thing can possibly affect you. That's not how it works. That deny that this thing can have any kind of influence even on your mind. You are in charge here. You are the one. You are the one with the dominion. Okay? You're not going to be you're not going to be in that kind of denial when you recognize who you are. You're not going to be in that kind of denial. To be able to handle things in the illusion because you have the power of who you are behind you. So it's not about denying what your perception is. You could say that is the perception. Okay, there it is. Not deny what the perception is, but it's in denying the evidence as if something in the illusion can cause you any pain. It's really the other way around. It's the pain first and then making the illusion as if it's causing you pain. That's why you're denying the evidence. So you can get back to where it's projected from. It's not so that you can try to manipulate your perception. But you know what? Your perception is going to just come together in exactly the way it needs to for your seeing. Okay? Even in the previous question, if I think my man is looking at another woman and he's telling me that it's not the case, am I supposed to just deny what I'm experiencing? No. No. And learn to be okay with that in a relationship? No. No, that's a modern polyamory teaching that you're talking about right there. And, you know, you used to be into that kind of teaching. That's just like a residue from that kind of teaching. Now you just take it, whatever that feeling is, you have let the feeling have its walk in the sunlight, so to speak. Within your awareness and letting it to be played out, just letting it to be played out, and deny that anything made you feel that way. In that way, you'll be able to support whatever it is. You'll be able to support this innocent manifestation. Let's say this innocent manifestation, the innocence of this manifestation. Okay, it's allowed to have. To be loved. Let's say that. It's allowed to be loved. The innocent manifestation, the personality, you could even say. It's allowed to be loved. It's allowed to be appreciated. It's allowed to be accepted. Okay? And that's it. That's acceptance for all. That's acceptance for all. So if you're having the perception that your man is with another woman and you guys are not in some kind of a deal where that's okay, you guys decided that was okay and part of it, you'll just find yourself taking care of whatever it is, and you'll know exactly what to say. You'll know exactly what it is. You don't need to have any question about it. It might be, you know what, I realize that it's all cool with me if you're looking at other women, if you're having sex with other women. I'm just all cool with it. It's good. Or it might be just like, you know what, that really doesn't fly for me. I know you're saying you're not, but I'm feeling like this, and I'm just going to take some space. You know, it could go any way. None of it's right or wrong, but you're going to be allowed to be uplifted through this. It's going to be able to be fun for you. And if it's not fun for you, it's at least comforting. It's not fun yet, it's at least comforting for you. You don't need to put yourself into situations where you're making yourself fearful. Okay? There's no need for that. Go with your guidance. Go with your good guidance. It's not about how you act. It's not about controlling yourself. That's another thing that people get really caught up on. Okay, well, if this is the concept that I'm following, then how should I control myself? How should I control myself in the illusion, in the manifestation? You don't have any choice on that. You don't have any choice about that, about how you're going to be made into a manifestation. Let the manifestation just arise how it does. Let it be natural, really natural. Watch how much you're supported. Watch how much you're supported by your spirit when you're willing to uplift your spirit, when you're willing to hold your spirit in high regard. Watch how your spirit automatically moves you to hold yourself in high regard when you're willing to hold your spirit in high regard. Let's put it that way. See? Is it me and am I unable to trust people? Well, there's no people. Once again, that's just symbolic that you're not entrusting your spirit. It's obvious that you're not trusting your spirit because you want to put all this trust onto people. You know, you trust the whole manifestation as one, as if it's giving you whatever it is that you need, not trusting in individuals like that. And here's the thing: you might see trust come up. Oh yeah, there's trust. Oh yeah, I trust you with that. Oh, I trust you with that. But there's not this attachment kind of trust. Don't break my trust. You know, it's like you see the trust arising and it's okay. It's not like, oh, I shouldn't be trusting in individuals or something like that. But it's like you don't have to have this mind game with yourself, like, should I trust them or should I not? Are they trustworthy? Are they going to hurt me? That kind of thing. That's where you're getting defensive. You're putting up defenses. Am I just unable to tap into people's energy and true intentions? That's your energy and true intentions. It's your energy and true intentions being made manifest. Here's how it goes. When you're having an intention to make yourself out to be small, and you could tell you have an intention to make yourself out to be small if you're dependent on someone to treat you a certain way. Okay? So it's if you're putting out that intention, then that's going to be reflected back to you that it's other people have bad intentions. Other people have wrong intentions. Okay? No one's doing anything. No one's doing anything. Your perception of any kind of intentions or anything, it's symbolic. And how it's symbolic of how you regard your spirit. How you respond to that is how you regard your spirit. See? However you respond to that. See, like for me, I'm welcoming all the different things. However people want to be around me, however it is, because that gives me the opportunity to demonstrate how I regard my spirit within that kind of an illusion. I demonstrate it to myself, to my own mind. How am I willing to regard my spirit in the midst of that illusion? See? So then anything can come, any kind of behavior. Any kind of behavior. People would ask me for years, you know, well, can you trust your husband? I'm like, I have no idea. I have no idea. From what I've seen so far, yes. I have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow. I know things are going to change. I know there's going to be a change. I know if that occurs, I know things are going to be changing. I'm not afraid of that happening, though. See? And you're afraid of something happening. That's where the paranoia is. You're afraid of something. That's all. Whether or not things are actually occurring to show me that I need to voice what I'm not okay with. Okay. Watch what happens. Watch what happens when you're allowed to be natural. Watch how fun it becomes when you're allowed to be natural. You can totally voice what you're not okay with. But if you try to voice what you're not okay with from the sense of separation, you're not going to like the results. Not going to like the results. That doesn't mean you should try to stalk yourself, but you'll see. You just let it be natural. Let it come out natural and watch. Just watch. As you're watching, you're going to see more and more how to be with yourself as spirit. How to be in relationship with yourself as spirit. Just keep on watching, recognizing that it's all you, recognizing that you're projecting it all. I just want a relationship where I feel worthy and I am positive that my man's intentions are only with me. Okay, so there's wanting again. That's manifestation. We've talked about that a lot of times. See? That's just a symbol of wanting to be who you are. Wanting that relationship, wanting that sweet relationship with your source, you could say. It's kind of like this. It's kind of like God made you, God created you as God, as an extension of God, so that God wouldn't be alone. You are God's companion and not anyone else's companion. That's all symbolic. So you're not feeling worthy is not letting God in. Otherwise, you're going to feel so worthy, it's not even going to matter what anyone else's intentions are with you. It's not even going to matter. And you won't find yourself being drawn. You won't find yourself being drawn to be in relationship, even surface relationship, with those who aren't in a sweet relationship with their own spirit. See? Then it's worthiness all around. We're all sharing our worthiness with each other. It's like we're sharing this worthiness. Let people have whatever intentions they want. It doesn't have anything to do with you. You're being drawn toward them. You're being drawn toward them is just so that you can recognize that you're worthy of so much more. That's all. Whether you physically move away on the surface or not, it could go a lot of different ways. I have plenty of friends who have come into the energy of, oh, what was I being so paranoid and afraid about? So what if they want to have sex with other people? So what? You know, I can't say personally that works for me. And I'm also not going to close myself off to it, because who knows? That could change. But, you know, if that doesn't work, then it doesn't work. Then it's just a matter of, you know what? That doesn't work for me. And then it's like, oh, that's just your perception. You're going crazy and all this stuff. Okay, thank you for letting me know. Still, this is not working for me. Thank you. See? It's not like anyone's wrong. All right. So if anyone has any questions, please raise your hand. Let me check if we have any questions going on over on the Facebook side. Oh, we have something here. Okay. Okay, a bunch of hellos. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Yes, I'm looking forward to meeting you, Yulia. Thank you so much. Yulia is coming to Sedona to see me. Thank you. Mm-hmm. So the biggest trick of the ego is that you have done something wrong. And that gets projected outward. So look at, they have done something wrong. They are not doing it the way I would, for instance. That's how it gets projected. That's how the world gets upheld. Sometimes I talk about things that are really dark with you people. Sometimes I talk about things that are really dark. You know, recently I've been coming up with a thing about child predators and abusers like that. And the reason for me bringing up that kind of stuff is because if there's only one person in your perception that's unworthy of love, you can't have reality. You are not able to have the perception of reality. You're not able to perceive with the Holy Spirit, let's say. If you're holding one person out as if they're bad, and this doesn't mean to say that they shouldn't go to jail, or they shouldn't get any kind of punishment, or they shouldn't be kept away from kids and all that kind of stuff. It's not, because, you know, the illusion, it's just arising anyways. There's no shoulds about how anything should go. It's not trying to change people's minds. Okay? You know, it's a seeing. It's a seeing. It's seeing that you're holding something against yourself, and it's a feeling. It's a feeling. Doesn't mean you have to change anything about the way you treat people. That's not even up to you. It's not up to you. What's up to you is whether you're going to hold this and hold yourself apart from reality. Is it worth you holding yourself apart from reality? Is any of it worth that? You know, and anytime you make anyone wrong, anytime you make anyone guilty, no matter what kind of perception you're having of what they've done, that's holding yourself apart from reality. And I tell you that because it only takes one thing. And that's why I go for something that's really grave in people's minds like that, something that's really grave like that, because that's it. It's like, oh no, I'll see the reaction from people. It's like, oh no, I'm going to keep that. I'm going to keep that one. So in keeping it, you're attacking yourself. So that's a choice to keep on attacking yourself. It only takes making one thing wrong. One person, place, or thing. Okay. Could be making the weather wrong. Could be that. Anything wrong. It's always just a projection. It's so that you can keep yourself as if you're guilty, and it's like it keeps that guilt protected because you don't see it. That way you don't see it. It's projected outward. Projected outward means protecting that guilty thought so that you don't perceive it. Once you get the perception of it, it doesn't have any power over you. What most people are doing is projecting the guilty feeling over and over again. You know, when I posted something about that, about how child predators, okay, well, now when this comes up, here's how you heal the predatory mind. Immediately, the way the ego will take it is that it is as if we're condoning something or putting our kids in danger or something like that. And it's really the opposite. It's really the opposite of that, because when you take care of that upset feeling that's really attacking yourself, you cannot make more illusions. You cannot make more illusions. It's resolving the illusion. It's resolving the illusion in your mind. The only way we could have a perception of any person abusing or hurting another person is guilt in the mind. So, you know, the trajectory needs to be to undo the guilt in the mind. That's where the real protection comes from. You know, I've heard, let's kill all the child molesters. I just want to kill all the child molesters. And, you know, it's like, well, if that could have been done, I'm guessing that would have been done by now. But that's just not how it works, because it's all energy. So the more you try to blot it out, the more you try to kill it, the more it pops up. You ever notice that? Just it's cropping up more. The more you try to kill it, the more it crops up. Again, it's not for changing anything in the perception. It's for giving up that upset feeling, for recognizing I'm making this up. This is coming from me right now so that I can get the effect of being separate. Nothing happened. I'm not really seeing them clearly. Everything's still operating from the senses, through the senses. If there's not some kind of judgment about how you should act about that, and you're allowing yourself to act naturally, you'll still find yourself protecting or whatever. Maybe you're the prosecutor. Who knows? Who knows? You'll still find yourself playing it all out through the senses. But in you not taking them as if they're a real threat because they're projected, it becomes more of a playful thing. It stops being projected more. It stops proliferating. It's like you put a stop to it. You put a stop to a part of it, you could say. And you're allowing healing in for the whole mind. You know, as you're willing to give up your ungrateful, unhappy feeling, you could say, as you're willing to give up your unhappy feeling and come back to happiness, it's opening up the door for everyone. It's opening up the door for everyone to just give it up. Whatever the upset feeling is, just to kind of hand it over, you know, gently. Like, here, will you take care of this for me? I know you can work it out. Thank you. Whoever your higher power is. We were saying Holy Spirit earlier. It could be whatever ever name or word you want to call it, as long as it's loving. It doesn't see anything as guilty or wrong or anything like that. Okay. Oh, I know we wanted to talk about, it was Gabriella. Gabriella, are you on today? No. Gabriella and Lori. You guys wanted to talk about this money one, didn't you? So I had, oh, where is it?
Yes, we did.
Okay, let's have it. So here's what I wrote today. And this just came out like super, it was like, whoa, that's coming out. If it's more money that you want, it's really poverty that you're seeking. You cannot want more money without projecting a feeling as if something is lacking.
Ooh, as you just read that, I felt it.
Yeah.
The truth of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I didn't when I read it myself.
Oh, maybe it's fun for me to just read it in a little video.
Yeah, wow.
Trying to change your feeling in order to get more money will never work. Never. That striving still comes from a place of lack. You cannot fool your mind like that. Any appearance of abundance attained this way will surely become its opposite. Once you get disillusioned by false abundance enough times, you will give up the quest for worldly treasures to accept the treasure that is not subject to conditions of any kind. So this draw to wanting, and and here I used money, but it's wanting is wanting. Wanting a guy who doesn't cheat, same thing. You'll learn to look at them, it's the same exact thing. You learn to see that they're the same exact thing. It's just this wanting. That's all it is. That's all this is.
Which is coming from lack.
Yes. Always coming from lack. Always coming from lack. Like you won't have the exact right amount of money that you should have. When in reality, you have all of it. You have all of the money. That's being. You have all of the money. But you're only going to manifest. And this is from a higher level. This manifesting, it comes from another level. It's not what I want for myself. You're going to manifest what you really want. What you really want. It's like what you want in this manifestation is to undo the need for it. It's just you're manifesting according to what it is exactly, precisely what it is that you need to escape from the make-believe world. You're getting exactly what you want. You're getting exactly the amount of money that you want. You're giving it all to yourself. When you say you want something, you're saying, I'm already in poverty. And that could be for wanting money or wanting a better relationship or wanting more love or wanting less judgment. It's saying, I'm already in poverty. I'm already an illusion. I'm already needy.
Or wanting to understand this.
Yep. Yes, that's right. Same.
Whoa.
It's like a block. It's just right there in the moment, like a block saying, I'm not who I am. I'm basically it's making yourself into an illusion.
Right.
So it's setting yourself up for all kinds of more, this sense of poverty, this sense of lack, this sense of wanting more or less of something, less judgment, for instance. So people take this people tend to take this in a really weird way. Because it just becomes so materialistic. It becomes so materialistic. Okay, if I don't want money, then I can't charge for money for something. Like maybe I have a product, I can't charge for money, or I need to go work for free now. See, now this is the thing. It's not in the manifestation. It's in the thinking. It's in the thinking. That's all. It's in when you're thinking that you want it, and you're thinking that you want it, it's a thinking that comes from a sense of lack. But if someone comes up to you and maybe you're selling something at the farmer's market, I don't know, or maybe you have a job and they're saying, how much do you want per hour? You just answer that naturally. You're not at that level. That's not the level that you are. I mean, I shared before, you're not anywhere in the world. You're not anywhere in the world. You're not on that level. Just allow that to play out naturally. You're noticing from the level of awareness that you don't want anything. You don't really want anything. All the apparent wants that arise are just arising almost like an offering for you. You know, it's like an extrapolation of the thought, I want reality. So it's like it keeps you from knowing that what you really want is reality. Keeps you from knowing that what you really want is reality. It keeps this world as looking like it's reality, and then you want something in this world. When you know that all you want is reality, then you're actually seeking the treasure that's you. That's all there is there. That's all there really is. That's the real desire. And that, you know, it's not really real, but it's real for the dream because it's the desire that's put in you. You could say it's that same thing as that spark I was talking about earlier. You know, that spark of the divine. There's this desire for yourself. There's this love, desiring love. And that totally goes backwards away from the illusion. It lets the illusion just be what it is. It's not trying to control how you act in it. It's just in recognizing that you already have everything. You don't need anything. You don't really want anything. All of the apparent wanting is just the symbol of you wanting to be who you are. Thank you, Christine. I love you. Some peeps on the East Coast are going to bed. And look, the sun's out. Yay. That answer your question, Lori?
Yeah.
About the money thing?
Yes. Yeah, and equating it to wanting to see the truth.
Yes.
Is the same thing.
It's all the same. You want you. All of the wanting is you want you right now. You've cut yourself off. You've cut yourself off from who you are if you find yourself wanting. This is not about, again, controlling yourself. Earlier today, a friend was asking me, what can I do to get you to travel? Or no, I would like you to come over here and come over and visit over here because something. And I said, okay, well, let me know if you'd be interested in arranging the travel and having that all taken care of. And then the person came back and said, what is this money issue that you have? You know, and it's interesting because it's just like, I could see that as just like that thought process coming up is if you say you want your expenses taken care of, then that means you have a money issue. And it's like, oh no, I'm not buying into that. No, thank you. No, thank you. Oh, never mind. I'm not interested in going over there anymore. My response. Oh, never mind. I just lost interest. You know, it's all like a game of the ego to get you to buy into this separation, like as if you're an illusion. It's like, no, I don't buy into that. And then there's another response about how, oh, you're not interested because you made an investment. It was coming a different kind of interest. And I said, okay, well, thank you for letting me know.
Right, because
this is how it works, you guys. Don't take on the guilty. See, the projections, the guilty projections are just coming off of a guilty feeling. They don't have anything to do with you. There's no defensiveness. There's nothing.
There's a defensiveness if you do feel that guilt.
If I take it on, right? If I take it on.
Yeah. Ooh, that was a great.
I just did a post about money today. And it was so funny. I just had a post about money today about how, you know what it is. We just talked about it. And then the next thing I know, I'm getting a reflection as if I'm making money an issue. Because I asked for my expenses to be paid. Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
So I just said, nope. Oh, thanks for letting me. Oh, that's the interpretation. Okay, thanks.
Beautiful.
And then the whole thing changed again. It's like, oh, okay, I see what's going on. The other person, I see what's going on. Okay, I get it. I see it.
Do you think they really did?
That was their words.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I do. Yes, I do think that that's understood. That it's like, oh, it's a projection of pain. Okay, I get it. It's just a projection of pain. And that's the thing. It just like goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, projecting pain, projecting pain, projecting pain. And if I were to take it on where it's like, oh gosh, why do you have to make money into an issue? And then take that on as if, oh no, I have to defend myself or something. Well, I'm not really. And it's like, oh, well, okay, never mind. It's just like, and not needing anything, you don't have to play any energy games. You don't have to play any energy games like that.
That is an energy game because it would deplete your energy. It would.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Totally. Yeah, that's what it's for. It's like, I feel really sad. I feel really pained right now, and I want you to have some of it. Here, take some of it.
Right.
And when you're, and that's like the most compassionate thing, and it's right in your own, it's for yourself, but it always extended outward. So you're an example of that, it's always extended outward. It's like, it's like there's this, no, thank you. I don't accept that gift,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have no need for visiting your place. I have no need for anything that you have to offer. There's nothing like that. People play energy games like that all the time. I see that with family members. Like one family member will be dependent on another family member for money, and they'll always be playing these games. And it's like, once you cut that off, there's no game. There's no game. People try to play those kinds of games, and you're just like, actually, I don't have a need for anything. That's the thing. So I don't need to play that energy game. See?
Oh.
Like, okay. Another example of some energy games. When I was having some conversations on my Unschooling for Parents page, all of a sudden a bunch of people came on like all at once that just wanted to argue. And so, at first they come as questions. I answered a couple questions. I start to see that they're just looking for arguments. So then it just start deleting them. Deleting the people, deleting the post, whatever. The question will come up, oh, it's curious that you're deleting these. And then it's like, delete again. See, there's just no need for conflict. There's just never, ever any need for conflict. Where conflict is arising, and it's not like, the other person is wrong, because there isn't another person like that. It's a projection. It's an energy play. And so the compassion is that I'm not engaging in conflict. I'm not engaging in conflict, and I'm not making you out to be wrong. That's where it is. And the actions, they just take care of themselves, and they become so joyful. It's just so joyful. It's playful. It's like, oh, no, thank you. It's like, oh, yeah. Oh, is that what you think? That's okay. You can keep that. I'm not going to try to take that from you. I'm not going to try to have some kind of conversation where I try to take that from you when you don't want to give it up.
Right. Ooh, and you don't want to give it up.
Yeah. It's one thing if you're coming to me and saying, hey, I feel like this, and, I want to see through it, then I'm all on board with you.
Beautifully too.
If you don't want to give it up, then I'm not going to interfere with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, I got a question. I read something the other day that stated, for the one who is free, there is no fear of the mind. How does one become free? Is it just awareness of itself? Thank you so much. Oh, thank you so much. I love you. So I say all the time, it's not a secret. How you become free. You're already free. But how do you free your mind from this consciousness prison that you've put it in? Let's say. How do you free your mind? It's in this instant with an upset feeling. Let the upset feeling arise. Again, recognize that it's symbolic, that you projected it. And don't pursue the thoughts about it. Look, if you see yourself pursuing the thoughts about it, just take one step back. Don't try to stop yourself from pursuing the thoughts about it. Don't try to stop yourself. Just take one step back. Let the pursuit continue within your awareness. Now it has no effects. Now it's burning itself out. That's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. Your guides, your guide, your good guide in the mind, we've been calling the Holy Spirit today. Good guide in the mind is going to keep on showing you what it is that you're holding against yourself. As you're willing to get that feeling, you're going to see what you're holding against yourself. When you see it, you're going to automatically release it. Seeing is releasing. The choice is for seeing it. The releasing is automatic. Seeing is releasing. The only reason there's not releasing is because there's an avoidance of seeing. So as this goes on over and over again, you get to know that you are not guilty, and you get to know what it feels like to feel guilty. You get to know the energy game. And, immediately the way the ego would go, oh, you're supposed to be this spiritual person. You're not supposed to be being accused of something or anything like that. Or you're supposed to be really good, or you're supposed to be this, or you're supposed to be that. It's all about what you're supposed to be. That's the thing. When you're not anything, and you're not anything. And if you're anything, let's just say that you're divine. Okay? You're not anything. You're not anything but holy. Whatever you perceive of yourself, you're perceiving in error. Whatever anyone else perceives of you, they're perceiving in error. You don't have to play into these energy games. If someone tells me that you're paranoid, you're this, you're that, it's like, oh, thank you. That came from my body's energy field. Them saying that came from my body's energy field. That's where it's taken care of. Oh, thank you for letting me know. And then I'm just led, whether I'm going to be hanging out with the person, whatever it is. And what I find is the more I'm willing to praise my spirit, the more my spirit moves me to take care of this self, you could say. Demonstrates it's innocent. It's innocent. It's innocent, and it's worthy of love, and it's worthy of care, and it's worthy of support, because it is innocent. It's demonstrated. Okay. You don't end up with any fear about how other people are going to take you, what opinion they're going to have of you, or what opinion you're going to have of yourself, because any opinion you seem to have of yourself, that can always be reinterpreted. And let any opinion of yourself be reinterpreted. Then other people, they'll follow suit. That's what I find. The other people will follow suit, or they'll go away. Or they'll just go away. And I'm not afraid of anyone going away. That's the thing. That's why I could tell my friends, nope, I don't go for that. Thank you for letting me know that that's not for me. I appreciate you. So hooray, everyone. I'm going to be gone for 3 weeks.
Oh.
For Wisdom Dialogues Online. I'm going to be gone for 3 weeks. I'll probably still be communicating with you online, all my different pages. I'm making a digest right now. So go to my website. If you're not signed up for my newsletter yet, go to my website. Sign up for my newsletter somewhere. There's lots of places. On the front page, you can get a free first chapter of my book when you sign up for my newsletter. You can go to the About page. My website is hopejohnson.org. Okay, hopejohnson.org, myname.org. Sign up for my newsletter. I'm putting together a digest right now where I take the different posts that I have on Facebook, all these different places, and I'm putting them into little categories. And I'm doing that every 2 weeks, I think. That's what it looks like. So sign up and see if you like that. It'll also have links to different videos and stuff. It just kind of puts it all easily accessible place. Okay.
I loved your newsletter.
Oh, thanks.
I signed up for it, and the benefit section. It's all benefit. Ah, that was awesome.
Oh, sweet. I didn't even see it.
Huh? You wrote it.
I did.
Or did somebody else write that about what you had?
Yes, it's somebody else.
Somebody else did write it. That's right.
You'll be getting that. You'll be getting that too. It's on the website. Aloha. Thank you. It's nice to see you. Vidir. Yes, thank you for coming back. I appreciate you. Yeah. So, and then I'm also going live just sporadically. Whenever I feel inspired, I'm going live on my Wisdom Dialogues online page. I'll just go live maybe for a few minutes, whatever it is, where something comes up and people want to have a conversation about something. I'm so happy to do that. Another point I'd like to point out is, you know, what happens when there's this undoing, when there's no guilt in the mind? What is it? People have asked me, what is it? Does your body just fall over and die like that? And, you know, there's no body. That's the thing. You just find yourself in reality and no one's missing. No one's missing from it. It's not like there's a world that's missing you, because this is a total perceptual thing. Okay. You don't have to be concerned about are your loved ones going to make it and all this other stuff. This is an inside thing. You're bringing all your loved ones with you. You're going to see when you have the vision of reality, it's not like anyone is missing there. It's not like anyone is left here, because here doesn't really exist. It is like a dream. It is like a dream. So you don't need to be afraid of undoing the illusion. And, you know, as the illusion is getting undone, the dream is still going to work. It's even going to work more beautifully than it was, until there's no need for it anymore. Okay. There's nothing to be afraid about in undoing the mind. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. Then eat and take it easy on yourself. All of it's going exactly as it needs to. So in these weeks, the main thing is, don't let guilt creep up on you. You can't get it wrong. You can't get it wrong. If anyone has any questions, raise your hand. Otherwise, I think I'm winding it down. Yay. I love you. Wisdom Dialogues will come back on the 27th of August. In the meantime, check out hopejohnson.org. All of the information that you need will be right there. Everything. My essential oil company, if you want to check out my essential oils. Also, if you'd like to donate anything, please do that on my website. I have a donate tab there. Any kind of donations that you give go toward spreading the message of peace and unity. I'm also open to any other kind of support that you're interested in providing, whether that happens to be anything online or anything like that. Totally open to that. Stoked to get the message out. And thank you. Oh, thank you so much, Holly. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate you. I love you.
Mahalo.
Oh, aloha and a hui ho.